was a close one. This whole business stinks. If we can't tell the difference between one of these creatures and the villagers, we're totally fucked. It seemed like they were coming back from the southeast swamps. Maybe something down there is causing all this shit.
Whatever power be the origin of these possessions, it be ours.
I'll check it out. back to Sylvan.
none that thou knowest in this cavern, rest assured of that. The being that lives here wishes to take over this body.
Huh. You mean my body?
A pity that thou art not as combative with it. It is consuming thy mind e'en now, and yet thou dost offer no resistance. If thou dost allow it to continue, thou wilt be erased, replaced, and that is not in my best interests either.
Now that's ironic. Isn't that what you're doing to me?
An insulting comparison. This parasite is nothing. It is insignificant. I can easily protect us, if thou dost allow it. Thou shouldst give me more space, more liberty. Open thy mind instead of keeping me prisoner.
Yeah, we'll see. You're asking me to let you come in and mark out your territory. But at what price?
Thou wilt gain access to a greater part of me, to my knowledge, to my power. All that thou risketh is to gain in knowledge and power, and that can do thee no harm. We shall only be stronger, both of us.
Well, let's see. Everything is rosy and without a care.
I imagined that thou wouldst undergo a slight physical transformation. Thy body was not conceived to contain a power such as mine. It will consume thee if thou refuseth to evolve.
There we go. Admit it. You feel better.
Whatever thou risketh in trusting me is insignificant in comparison with what awaits us if thou dost stay and do nothing. If thou dost refuse to evolve, we will both soon be lost, and this world will follow.
Let's get out of this hole and try to think of something else. Edwin or the Red Scribes will surely find another solution.
Thou doth flee. We have no confidence in these people, we both know this. Just as we both know thou wilt never pierce the secret of this cave without me.
Maybe not without you, but definitely not like this. Whether the Scribes are worthy of trust or not is really not the question. Everybody feels like it's in their interest for us to succeed.
Each has a different view of what the meaning of success is.
I just want to get shit-faced and never have to hear your voice again.
Judging by your vacant look, I assume you've had an exchange with the demon.
He offered to protect me against the magic that haunts this cave, on the condition that I let him have more space in my mind.
And? Did it not work?
I refused. I'd rather explore some other solutions before I risk losing my mind, thank you very much.
It's ridiculous. You have the potential to become the most powerful being in Vertial, and you refuse that opportunity because you're afraid of not being able to control it? Time is short. The thing in that cave grows ever more powerful with the passing of each hour. I'll wait for you here.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
So are you getting on with the cure to wake up the prince?
Unfortunately, no. Without the poison I told you about, I can't make it.
I brought you some.
Excellent. Just give me some time to prepare the cure and administer it to him.
It doesn't seem to be working. I was wondering too, a cure made from poison? If it kills him, you know you'll get it too, right, Doc?
A lot you know. Lots of cures are made from poisons. But I have to admit that for the moment, he's not responding to the treatment.
Shit. All that for nothing. Well, we tried. Can I have a look at your stock?
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
There's a cave I can't enter. Something inside tries to devour my spirit. You wouldn't have anything I could use for protection, would you?
Funny you're asking. Turns out I started working on a potion to help you fight the presence of the demon in your mind. But its effects should also help you against an external intrusion.
I need it right away. The safety of the village depends on it.
I made 2 doses. Here, take them. If someone is with you, it can be used to protect them too.
Thank you. Edwin, I need to speak to you.
What can I do for you?
I'm going to have need of your talents. Come with me.
You offer me what? Sword play, suspicion, and sarcasm? Huh. I wouldn't miss it for the world.
Greetings, Vulcan.
Let me see what you've made this time. This is the place. Now's the time to find out if this potion is gonna work.
This is... This brew is worse than those sold by common charlatans. I wouldn't count on it doing much. Beware of those creatures. They are powerful and probably the most vicious in all the Devon Grove.
been spying in the village. Now that I see you, I understand why you'd rather not show up in person. Oh yeah. I don't hear your voice in my head anymore. You must have figured that out, right? So if you've got a message to deliver, you're gonna have to do it the old-fashioned way. Forget it. I came down here to do two things. Look for mushrooms and kick somebody's ass. Guess what? I ain't found any mushrooms. Well, your Ice Lords have never messed with a Powder Master, now have they?
If you listen to the rabble who actually live in the swamps, we should head back to the village now. If he was right, and a general is directing the attack, only your power could stop them.
I know this place. The village is not far away to the right.
Vulcan, where were you? We were up to our necks in it. They're everywhere. We're holding this gate, but I think the others have been overrun.
Do you know where the captain is?
He headed for the center of the village. Sounded like it wasn't going well over there. You should go and help him.
move again, and he's not wasting any time.
The puppet he confronts, it is not like the others.
It's more likely to be the puppet master. He looks like a Deadwalker general. He's probably leading the assault on Valdemar.
All of this power he animates with, it belongs to me. It was stolen and twisted by your miserable magicians. It is time to take back what is mine by right.
If you're planning to take care of him like all the others, sounds good to me. Prince Arundel won't last long facing that kind of monster.
He is using more power than thou wilt allow me to deploy.
I can take care of myself, and here's my plan. I'm gonna come at him with everything I've got. Killing their general is gonna screw up our enemies big time. Let's go do it. That was one tough death's head. but it won't command anyone now. Without their general, the Dead Walkers should leave us alone for a while. But they'll reorganize, so we can't stay here.
You're right, mercenary. Let's use the time to leave. It's now or never if we're going to get to Caralthas. My father and the armies of the Free Nations should be there. If we hurry, we may be able to participate in the mother of all battles and finally push back the Ice Lords.
If thou dost throw thyself into this battle, the only thing that thou wouldst find is thy death, and the only chance thou hast for saving this world will disappear with thee. Their armies will not win. He knows this, but that is not what motivates him. He is seeking his father's approval. He wants to buy the crown by delivering us to his king. He believes we are at his command. But he is mistaken. I only serve and live for the World Heart. Thy elven city is closer. I can feel it. Forget these suicidal battles. If thou join with them, thy so-called friends will end up turning against thee out of fear or envy.
The captain trusts me. He listens to me and knows what decisions to make. He'll back me up.
The good little soldier who would give his life for his captain. Dost thou truly believe it is reciprocal? Thy captain sees money and the survival of his precious company first. He has no vital need for thee, and that would always be one share less. Thou hast no more choice. Thou must hasten to the World Heart and purify it. It is thine only chance. Do combat there, and if thou art not slain, at least one of thy companions, if not all of them, will betray thee to try to control or study the power I bring thee.
Vulcan? Vulcan? You were far away. Is it the demon? He was talking to you, wasn't he?
Yes, it happens sometimes.
You have to make a decision soon. Will you join us in the battle at Caralthas?
I don't know yet.
I understand. It's been a long day. I'll let you think it over for a while. Let me know when you've made a decision.
Do you think we ought to follow the prince to Caralthas?
If you want to get to the World Heart, we'll need to go by there. But the prince's company seems both unnecessary and dangerous. Believe me, I know his type all too well. Invested with a mission he is soon overwhelmed by, probably named by some obscure prophecy. In the name of his family, or because of an idealized vision of his future duties as sovereign, he will give his all. In other words, all his imbecility. Chasing after glory and honor, unprepared and unprotected, he will only lead us to disaster.
Seeing the shit we're in, I don't think he's doing it just for the glory. He's got an interest in having everybody survive.
And in making it look like everyone has survived entirely due to his talents, and not those of a mercenary who can produce flames and defeat a general of the Deadwalkers. Do you really believe he wants you around just because he enjoys your company? Not to mention the increasing threat implied by our friends dressed all in red.
What do you suggest we do?
When we get to Caralthas, we better give them the slip and head to Blackfrost's domain.
Why should we go down there?
Because those lands are positioned quite close to the city of the elves, and like all the lands of the Ice Lords, it's a point of entry into the World Heart.
We'll be able to break camp soon. Where's our next objective?
For now, we're going to stick with the Red Scribes. They haven't paid us yet, and they won't until we reach Caralthas. In any case, that's where we're headed. I sent Wolf on ahead of us a few weeks ago to see if he could find fresh volunteers for us, but I don't think there's much hope of that. This war is looking worse and worse for us. In 10 years fighting, the Deadwalkers haven't lost a single battle. I suppose we could hide for a while. But considering what's left of Vertiel, that would be like hiding in a pile of ashes. We have to come up with some alternatives. And for now, I can only think of one. The demon. For the moment, it's the only card we have left to play.
Thy captain is less stubborn than thee. Methinks I should perhaps have chosen him as a vessel.
He is the best weapon we have. Since he's been with me, we've beaten a Juggernaut and a Deadwalker general. He could be the thing that changes the course of this war for us.
I never know if it's you or it that's talking to me. But I feel like we have the same goals. So let's go to Carolthas. We'll link up with our brothers in arms and try to find a way to access the World Heart. I'm not going to pretend this is the best plan I've ever made. To tell you the truth, it's not even a plan. But I guess we're going to have to defer to this demon.
Prince Arundel is asking us to join up with his forces in Carolthas to fight the Deadwalker army. What do you think?
For years now, the Knight has fought in many battles and with many different armies. The generals, the kings, and the chiefs of those armies were usually ready to sacrifice the lives of their men with no remorse in order to win. If the mercenary goes to Carolthas, this prince will use him for his own purposes and sacrifice him if needs be. He cares for nothing beyond his own safety. And if he is faced with the Ice Lords, he would turn and flee, as did his brothers before him. The Knight is weary of these doubts and petty thoughts. He wishes to return to the attack and strike the Ice Lords at their very hearts. If he was in the mercenaries' place, he would listen to the demon and follow its plan. And he would like to know that he would not stand alone in this final battle.
Arundel wants me to go with him to Carolthas. What do you think?
You should go with him. Carolthas is our only hope for now, and the prince seems like a good man. We would be safer there. Both the human and elven armies are gathered there, and I believe you may find some answers there also. The elven sages are some of the wisest people on Vertiel. If anyone can figure out what has happened to you, they can.
It's pretty obvious what happened to me. A demon has somehow gotten into my head, and now I gotta live with it.
And this does not worry you?
All I know is, I'm a lot stronger since this demon possessed me.
For now, all you seem to care about are these newfound powers, this presence that makes you feel stronger. But what will happen if it also grows stronger? Have you noticed how much you have already changed? I fear that soon there will be little left of Vulcan. In any case, you must find out more about this thing. You must go to Carolthas so they can examine you. I believe you must find a way to control this thing, or even rid yourself of it before it's too late.
What do you intend to do now? We can't stay here.
I have to talk things over with the other members of my order. But we planned on going to Carolthas, and I think that is still the best idea. Everything that is left of the human and elf armies is there. If we join forces, we should be strong enough to hold out against the Deadwalkers. The contract with your company only ends once there anyway, and I doubt your captain wants to break it. What's more, it might be an excellent opportunity to learn more about your guest. The elven sages are famous, and their library holds many reference books. And I suggest, until we should learn more, that you neither listen to it nor obey it. I think it's lying to you, manipulating you, and that it has other goals than just our survival.
Do you think we should listen to Prince Arundel and go with him to Carolthas?
The great elven army and what is left of the human army in this part of Vertiel are now gathering at Carolthas. Separately, none of these troops stood a chance. But united... well, in any case, it's the only hope we have left. Reinforcements from the Freeborn Blades and Red Scribes will help. And so will you, from what I've seen. And even if I don't approve of all the strategic choices made by my sovereign these last few years, I think he'll rise to the occasion now that he can no longer retreat. He knows the lands around Carothas perfectly, so I'm sure he will bring the battle onto terrain that will favor us. And since you're curious to know more about what happened to you, my people's scholars are famous. They can surely help you.
You've got it all figured out.
I believe we can manage to hold the Deadwalker army back this time, though it's a bit early to start celebrating.
There you are, at last. So, have you made your decision?
We will go together to Carothas, but once there our paths must part. I have to find the World Heart and purify it.
I hope that you will change your mind on the way. We will need you.
It is but a stage.
It's not enough.
It is a stage. To move in haste would risk incinerating this body, and that is not what we want. Why think thee that the necromancers use their ritual spears to suck the lifeblood from the World Heart? Why think theeist that not one among them can control the flame? They can but use the energy of the World Heart. We hold its power, the flame. Aside from the dragons, no fleshly vessel has ever been able to master it.
Yes. See what good it did them? Now that I'm revealed, the sorcerers will covet this power.
As do thy supposed allies. Thou shouldst beware of them, and their weakness. Let nothing stop thee from preserving thyself, lest we finish, as did the dragons.
Perhaps it is time I took things in hand.
Vulcan, have you seen something?
They use thee.
You coming, Vulcan? Your captain will be wondering where we are.
Huh? Yes, of course. Let's go.
There you are, sire. Right. Change of plan. Seeing how cold it is, it will come as no surprise to you to learn that the dead walkers have already been here. They are still close.
We must rejoin my father's army as swiftly as we may.
I think we already found them. Take a look around us.
There are survivors. Apparently they are camped not far from here. This soldier will lead us to them.
Prince Arundel, my lord, can it be you?
Soldier, what happened here? Is the king with you?
The Deadwalkers took us by surprise. The cold and the ice. We stood no chance. Almost all of the city has been invaded by the ice.
My father! Where is the king?
I know not, Your Highness. But a few of us were able to escape. Lord Commander Valen has built a camp close by the city.
Valen is here. Take us to his camp.
By your leave. Follow me, my lord.
My prince, we had lost all hope of seeing you return safe. We have no word from Bastion.
Bastion is lost, Valen. We came into this war too late. The General of the Alliance gave his life that I should escape with Relmar.
The deserter. What business did he have at Bastion?
The deserter was fighting, while you and your wondrous army waited warm and safe, sat upon their asses. I hope the result is pleasing to you, Valen.
Silence, both of you. Relmar saved my life, Valen. For now, you will consider him pardoned.
By your will, my lord. And I see that you are escorted by the Freeborn Blades.
In truth, they are escorting the Red Scribes, but their presence is our good fortune. They have already once put the dead walkers to rout in the marshes. This man slew one of their generals before my very eyes. I will tell you more of this later. Now I must speak with my father. Where is he?
No one knows, my prince. The king was still in the royal palace when the river Estelduin fell upon the city.
The river? What happened?
'Twas like a great wave that froze all that it touched. We had seen the approach of the Deadwalkers' vanguard 4 days before, and we had raised Caroltoss's defenses in preparation. Not even the sight of 10 juggernauts would have feared us. But we never dreamt that an Ice Lord would come to lead the assault himself. He walked calmly to within an arrow's flight of the gates, never once speaking. And then, the river rose up from its bed to form a gigantic cloud that hung up over Caroltoss. We understood our peril too late. Near all of our soldiers stood atop the ramparts or in the streets when the ice cloud fell. All were frozen where they stood. That was his signal to launch their assault, but we were already vanquished. We fought to cover our retreat.
We must find the king!
I know, my prince, but every entry to the city is guarded, and we cannot risk being discovered.
It is clear we will not travel 200 paces if we do not first slay the sentinels close to the encampment. Only then will we be able to attempt to enter the city and save your father.
I'm sorry, but you'll be going without the Freeborn Blades. Our mission here is completed. We will only be able to go on a reconnaissance mission. I had men in Caroltoss. If they're still alive, I must do all I can to get them out. But if it's confirmed that they're dead, my company are leaving. The Red Scribes have been delivered to Caroltoss. Our contract has been fulfilled.
We are only delivered outside the city gates of Caroltoss, Captain. The gold that we owe you lies inside its walls.
We have brought you as close as is possible. I will not send my men to their slaughter. You are in the hands of the Elven army now, Liestas, as was promised. The fact that you failed in your mission is not my problem. You can keep your goddamn gold. There's nowhere left in this cursed region to spend it anyhow.
That is regrettable, Captain. Your experience would have been a boon to us. I can only hope you will reconsider your decision.
Some of my soldiers tell me that the Deadwalkers have taken prisoners. Perhaps your own men are amongst those unhappy souls.
Vulcan, we'll make camp close to the south gate. You go and question those lads. With a little luck, one of them might have seen something.
Understood, Captain.
Wait! Wait! There are many powerful creatures around us.
How powerful?
One of them feels too strong, even for you. The others are less able to resist you. You should start with the weaker ones and absorb their energy before taking on the big one. Do you think you can handle it?
I'll let you know after I've tried.
Damn, it's freezing here. Aren't you cold?
I've spent many winters in libraries with no heating. After that, you hardly notice the cold. Which reminds me, do you know if the library in the city is still intact?
No idea. You looking for any book in particular?
Not a book, many books. The elves have the most advanced culture in the world. Their libraries contain works of inestimable value. We should find them. They could be useful to us.
Just in time, Vulcan. I'm afraid I need your help again.
What happened to you now?
To me, nothing. It's about my people. Have you ever heard of the Stone of Souls?
No. Worth a lot?
No. I mean, yes. It's priceless, but it's not for sale.
I'm not sure I follow you.
I'll explain. Every elf possesses a Stone of Souls, which contains the memories and emotions from all the greatest moments of his life. These stones are passed from generation to generation. It's a way of preserving the memories of our people and of honoring our ancestors. With all of those who died at Carolthas, there are thousands of stones abandoned in the city. We cannot just leave them there. You are no doubt the one who will be traveling to our city the most. If you could bring back as many of them as possible, I'd be eternally grateful. Actually, all of my people will be in your debt. At least the ones who still live.
All right, I'll take care of it. But don't expect to see me dancing around with a wheelbarrow full of rocks.
That would in fact be an amusing sight. But I do get your meaning. Whenever you can, check the bodies of elves you come across and collect the stones. Even if we manage to save only a very few, we will at least preserve some of the memories of my people.
I'll see what I can do. I'll leave you here.
Mercenary, I owe you my life. I'll never forget that.
How did you get out of your coma in the village?
I don't know. All I know is that I opened my eyes and heard the sound of fighting. I just had the time to grab my weapon and get out into the village square. It looked like the general of the Dead Walkers was waiting for me. Sometimes, the sense of duty is more powerful than the pain of wounds.
Maybe the cure we made finally worked.
Relmar told me about that. Maybe you saved my life twice, not just once. Who knows? In any case, I owe you a lot. I won't forget it.
Do you know Relmar well?
I knew him well. A long time ago, when we were young. He and I were milk brothers. We grew up together in my father's palace. But life goes on, and by the time we were adults, we were forced apart. Relmar defied my father's authority, and openly rebelled against his people. He betrayed us.
He had a good reason for it.
A good reason? What reason? Dragging us into a war with the Ice Lords without preparation?
His cause was just. He refused to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. If the elves had helped, maybe we wouldn't be here today.
We could talk about how just his cause is for days. How could we know what would have happened? Maybe we wouldn't be here today. He wanted to act fast. He was always impulsive. But that behavior led him to reject his king. And his best friend at the same time. He betrayed us, and his recent feats of arms can't change anything, even if it wounds my heart.
Why did the elves enter the war so late?
That decision cost us dearly. It isn't easy to watch the other peoples of Vertiel suffer and fall one after the other. But our king felt that we needed to gain time. We had information about the Dead Walkers that led us to be careful. Long before the war officially began, they were already crushing all of their opponents far to the north.
And you said nothing? You could have warned the other kingdoms.
We told them to avoid the fight, to flee and regroup. They didn't listen to us. So we preferred to stay neutral and not provoke the Ice Lords. They must have known they couldn't defeat us without losing a large part of their strength. So they saved the greatest prize for the last. We thought that our best trained troops could hold them. We underestimated them, and neglected to take into account the fact that each army they defeated made them stronger.
Are you from Carolthas?
Yes, I was born there. I spent most of my life there. Carolthas is one of the most ancient of our cities. I mean, it was. We knock things down so seldom that the city is built in layers. But I've unfortunately never visited the underground levels, and I'm unfamiliar with the passageways there. I suppose that's why you asked the question.
I'll be going now.
Vulcan, I hope you've got good news.
I still haven't found your passageway beneath the city.
It's there, somewhere, and we have to find it. It's our only chance.
I still haven't found your passageway beneath...
It's there.
There were Freeborn blades in Carolthas. Do you know if they survived?
Your captain told me about them, but I don't know what happened to them. Some of my soldiers reported that they saw humans among the Deadwalkers' prisoners. That's all I know. Talk to them. They can tell you if they were your brothers in arms or not.
What's the situation between here and the city?
We've lost control of the outlying areas. The Deadwalkers have set up 2 watchtowers and are patrolling the Carolthas perimeter. If we make the slightest sortie, they'll spot us.
Two towers, huh? Precious. I could take them for you, if it would give us some breathing room.
That would let us try to execute some sorties. Up to you. But if you do try it, I'd be much obliged if you would let me know as quickly as possible. Because that breathing room won't last long before the Deadwalkers realize something's up.
I have some questions I'd like to ask you. I'll be going now. Do you have a moment? I wanted to ask you a few things. Who is this Black Frost?
Don't tell me that you don't know the name.
Don't take me for an idiot. I know what he is, but that doesn't really help much, does it?
He's one of the 7. He's known for his craftiness, his guile. He prefers using magic rather than his armies. In the past, he used to be more discreet. But for 2 years now, he's been leading the Deadwalkers' assaults, and is regularly seen in the front lines.
What changed?
I don't know. The Ice Lords' alliance is a delicate balance. It is possible that this is the result of an internal power struggle. He has certain abilities that make him fit for the role. Black Frost is without a doubt very effective. Just look at the destruction around us.
Let's change the subject. Later.
A good day to you, mercenary.
Greetings, mercenary. What can I do for you?
Can I have a look at your stock?
Good day, even if the expression isn't necessarily appropriate. Can I help you?
Show me what you have to sell.
Alas, not much. I'm missing so much equipment, but have a look. You might find something you like. Well, you...
Show me what you have to sell.
Alas, not... Well, you again. Can I help you?
Show me what you have to sell.
Alas, not much. I'm missing so much equipment, but have a look. You might... I have nothing to say to you, mercenary. You want to follow these gutless elves? That's your choice, not ours. Now leave us!
I wish I could go out on a recon, but the captain says I have to stay here.
Huh. If I knew how messed up everything was gonna be. You know what a pain in the ass it was hauling my cart here?
I bet. But we're lucky you followed us. We could do with a good smith.
Yeah, well, seeing what's left of the village, it's not like I had a choice. And with you around, business is better than ever. I'm not going anywhere anytime soon.
Let me see what you've made this time.
What is it, Vulcan?
I wanted to ask you. The Blades who were in the city, do you think they made it?
I hope so. I really hope so. After all, they shouldn't have been taking part in the battle. With a bit of luck, they weren't in the front lines when the ice wave struck. Generally, the Ice Lords don't kill those they capture. They like to keep their prisoners close by. Let's hope that our lads are amongst them. Maybe we can free them.
Let's change the subject. I have to go. Edwin, I need to speak to you.
What can I do for you?
Thanks. Hey, Buffalo. See, nobody's managed to kill you yet.
Not before I've seen you blown up by one of your toys.
Have you had time to talk to the human soldiers?
Yes, but they didn't say much. I don't think they trust us, or the Red Scribes, or anyone for that matter. They were just as stupid as we were. They thought they were going to join up with a great army to be safe. As you can imagine, they're a little disappointed.
Do you think they'll stay?
I don't think they're in any mood to fight. Once they've seen to their wounded, they'll be out of here the first chance they get.
I'm going.
Greetings, mercenary. I hope you're here to help us defeat the Deadwalkers.